I'm just gonna go on a limb here and say Ginty is a piece of shit. I have to say that. I know some like him as a character, but after that ending sequence, Ginty's a piece of shit. I'm sorry. Okay, so this episode of Death Parade. Majority of the episode focuses on Chiyuki and giving her development. Giving her characterization, development, seeing the mix of emotions and what her life was like when she lived and how she lived and the different desperations that she went through a child and how she ended up dying. We found out the true conclusion of Chiyuki, like how she died in her entire past. And so, majority, about 75% of this episode was focused on that. Just diving into Chiyuki as a character, fleshing her out, and just showing the different sequences of her life and how she lived her life. So, the thing is, okay, I personally love this episode for multiple different reasons. Before I get into the Ginty part at the end of the episode, let's just, cover Chiyuki first. So, Chiyuki. She's a character that has been the main focus of the series. Like, she is the final judgment that we will see happen in the series. Because she is the entire reason why, I guess you could say, Death Parade exists. Because the main endgame of this season of Death Parade is Chiyuki getting judged. And with the ending sequence of this episode, you see it to how Dakeem sends her off to where she can have her memories erased, and her memories will be sent to Dakeem. And so Dakeem is about to start going into the judgment mode of how he will judge Chiyuki. And that right there just pretty much lets us know that the finale is here. And that means next week is the finale, because even after the credits it says the last episode. Suicide Tour? I think that's what it's called. Suicide Tour. I think that's what it said. So, that's a very... yeah, that name, just like, holy shit. And the name of this episode, Memento Mori, I like that name. I really like the meaning behind the name of this episode. Like, that right there, wow. You know, what I like about Memento Mori, the way the title is done in this episode, I like how Dakeem brings it up and all that. And it's like, it's a phrase that you should live your life. Like, live your life to the fullest. That's kind of what it means. Live your life to the fullest and you will die. And that brings up a lot of things. Like, a lot of people will continue to look at different ways or paths in their life, and they will say, you know what? I want to do this, but I don't think I can do it. And I'm not going to go for it. I'm just going to do this. You know, they just go a different path even though they don't do what they want to do. What the true meaning of this episode, I guess, was trying to imply is, live your life to the fullest, and live it how you want to live it, and have no regrets. For instance, when you live it to the fullest, and you live it to how you want to live it, then you can die. And when you die, you can look back and kind of be pleased. That kind of ties in with the last episode. The old woman, if we remember the old woman that was getting judged by Dakeem last week, and we found out, the old woman's connected to Death Billards. Well, that right there has a lot to play with this episode with Memento Mori. I mean, she was looking back at her life the entire time. As you saw, she was looking back, the old woman was, and she seemed to be quite satisfied with how she lived her life, and then she passed on. And that right there is the main theme that these past two episodes have tried to bring up. Live your life to the fullest for you have no regrets. Live it for your meaning. Like, your life should have some form of meaning. Like, I mean, do it for what you want to do and accomplish. And I like that. I really do. So, that is the main point of the episode, and personally, in my eyes, that's what I grasped from this episode of Death Parade, alongside of getting to see the ending conclusion of the episode. So, as I said last week, and, the week before that, my fury with the mannequins is proven even further. Like, oh my god, like, oh... Okay, so, in my fury I said that maybe the mannequins are more a sign of symbolism. They're a form of symbolism that are used just to house a human soul. As I said, the series uses, different references when it comes to religion and stuff like that. Buddhism, Christianity, stuff like that. It loves using different religions. And I said in my Fury video a long time ago, I don't remember the exact words I said, but I said that the mannequins or the dummies can represent the human body. And then when you die, the soul moves on. And to place a soul, you need to place it in another, like, body. Like, you know, reincarnation, the reincarnation aspect of the series. See, a soul, even though they forget those memories and when they get reincarnated, they have to be housed into another body. And I brought up saying that maybe the body that they're put into is kind of like a dummy. And it kind of seems kind of, you know, true now that we look at the ending of this episode. And this leads into that ending sequence that, oh, it made me so fucking pissed and sad at the exact same time. It really did, because it goes to show you the issues with the current judgment system. That is exactly what that ending sequence with Ginty shows us. That's what is wrong with this current judgment of how these other arbiters are judging others. See, here's the thing. You had it to where, in this episode, and I've been wondering for the past couple episodes, actually, why that girl, you know, the human girl or whatever, I forgot her exact name, you know, the fangirl, I forgot why she didn't get judged. Like, why did she not go down and get judged? We kind of find out that the dude was kind of unconscious and he couldn't, like, cast him aside, like, because his soul was kind of missing or something at the time, and so she didn't want to leave, and then, you know, he couldn't judge properly. And then it came down to the point in this episode where he was tired of it, and he's like, okay, you can either choose to judge this man, he can go down in the void, the person you like, you know, this superstar, or you could judge this other dude that is waiting right there. If you play the game and you press this button, this dude will go down into the void and, you know, your superstar will be fine. And that's what the main role was playing right there. What that tried to emphasize was self-sacrifice. Yeah, to where the girl didn't want to choose neither, and she chose to want to give up herself. She wanted to give up herself, but you had it to where Ginty wasn't going to go through with that. He did not want to go through with that, and he was trying to start up some more darkness. He was trying to make it to where he could honestly judge her and send her into the void, even though you could tell at the ending of the episode she didn't do a neither or. She didn't want to do either. But then all of a sudden, you had it to where he changed the title on the top of the elevator and then sent them both to the void because she couldn't choose. And that right there is just so fucked up. He just sent them into the void without a care in the world. Even though we know for a fact that girl, that fangirl, was innocent. Like, from what we saw from her life, I mean, she had her own dark past, yeah, she had her own little issues, but from majority of it, she was a person that deserved to be kind of reincarnated. She didn't deserve that shit. She didn't deserve that ending conclusion, being cast into the void, and then seeing her turn into a dummy and then collapse onto the floor. That right there, that's fucked up. That is straight up fucked up. And then even the superstar dude, I mean, yes, I understand why he would kind of get cast into the void, but he didn't really deserve that either. That's a cruel penalty. A straight up really cruel penalty. And then to see how that was done to him at the end too, it's just like, no, that's wrong. It's so wrong. And especially when you see it how when they became dummies, you saw their hands holding on top of each other. It just goes to show you how wrong this judgment system is. So yeah, episode of Death Parade, man. I love it. I really love this episode because it comes full circle. It showcases the issues with the judgment system. It shows us characterization with Chiyuki and how this new judgment system is starting to work, especially with Dakeem. And that's what this episode's other theme, I think, was trying to focus on. Trying to show us both sides of what is currently going on. You know, this experimental judgment system by Dakeem, since he has human emotions, he is allowed to, you know, look at other perspectives of his judging. And that's allowing it to have a more effective judging, even though it's a longer process. And then you had to where Ginty, he was just like, you know, get out of here, fuck off, just get out of here. And then he just sent him to the void. That's kind of what it was. It's like Ginty was looking at these people as if they were products, or, you know, just some form of trash. Just, let's hurry up, next in line, you know, kind of like businesses or companies are. They like, we don't give a shit about these people, just next in line, get out of here. That's kind of how Ginty treated them too. And then Dakeem is taking it into a personal approach. He's trying to get to know the person and trying to learn how they are. And that's also another way you can look at this episode. So, oh yes, one thing. The Oracle or whatever, or the Oculus, or Oracle, I forget his exact name. I think it's Oculus. Yeah, it's Oculus. Oculus, or the Satan, Mr. Satan, or whatever, he, at the end, he confronts Nona, and obviously has something very shady going on. Very, very shady. And it's so weird because he comes out at, like, the episode right before it ends. Like, next episode's the finale, and so, with all these different little plot points, are they going to conclude it in next week's episode? I mean, I know some say Madhouse doesn't make season 2s, but it might be possible. I mean, maybe Madhouse is wanting to set up a season 2 for this, because there is a lot to cover, and a lot of potential, so yeah. So tell me your thoughts in the comments below. You all have a wonderful day or night wherever you live. Please be safe. Chibi out.